Why is it that despite the good agronomic and adaptable practices Nigerian and African farmers adopt into their farms, they still struggle to have good yield compared to farmers in the developed world? Now, this is one of the questions a farmer asked me towards the end of last year. I was having an engagement, an interactive session with this set of farmers in one of the local governments in Benue State. And one of the lead farmer asked that, why is it that, they got this particular seed? I don't want to mention the name of the seed so that it won't be as if I want to demarcate or say anything negative about the seed. Why is it that having bought this seed, very expensive, and followed all the steps, the things they asked us to follow, we still struggle to attain even half of the expected yield? At the back of the sack or the seed pack, it was written that, the expected yield is 9 to 10 tons per hectare. That is 90 to 100 bags in a hectare. Now, one of the things I will tell you from experience is that, I've realized that there is no synergy between the inputs company in Nigeria. Like when you are getting a seed, there should be a synergy between, maybe let's say, for example, either whether you are using Seedco, Premier, Pioneer, DK77, Bayer, whatever type of seed, if they are telling you that, you are going to get, let's say, maybe 90 kilograms per hectare, they should be able to tell you the type of herbicide you are going to use. They should be able to tell you the fertilizer you are going to use. Because it is expected that, before they will tell you that, the expected yield is going to be 90 tons or 9 tons, they must have tried it in the field. And at the course of the trial, what type of chemicals, herbicide, insecticide, pesticide, what type of fertilizer did they use at the course of the trial? So that, by the time you throw this thing to the farmer, by the time you are sending your product to the field, any farmer that is buying, he should be able to know that, okay, this is what I am going to use. Checking the developed world, they used to do a lot of things. Now, farmers don't go to their field blindly. Before they go, they have good understanding first of their weather. They know when it's going to rain. Even all through the season, it is not a one-off thing. They know the condition and the nature of their soil, whether the soil is healthy or not. For example, if their soil is acidic, they treat the soil even before the planting season. And when it comes to the seed, they know the type of seed they are using. They will tell you the generation of the seed, whether it is foundation seed, whether it is F1, whether it is F2. They know, they have good understanding of the type of seed they are using. Now, aside from the seed, they know the nutrient composition of their soil. They know the amount of nutrient they are going to add. Example, when they are growing maize, they know that, okay, this is a nutrient requirement for maize. And they know that, okay, this is what my soil is lacking, and this is what I need to add. And even at the course of the season, they can be able to carry out what? Tissue analysis. They will select some plant randomly and then take it to the lab and carry out what we call a tissue analysis. They taste and see. Whereas we have this amount of nutrient in the soil, what do we have in the body of the plant? What is the rate of the absorption of the nutrient? Now, if the nutrient is lacking in the body of the plant, and then they discover that, it is at the critical stage, they can introduce what we call the foliar spray. Get such nutrient and spray it so that, the plant can be able to absorb it directly. When it comes to pest and disease management, they go and do that effectively. But most of us here, what do? We can't even say much about the seed we are using. Aside from the seed, we go and get fertilizer in the market. Most of us, we can't even say whether what is written at the back of the fertilizer is the same as the content or the quantity of the fertilizer. We can't be able to say anything about the composition or the quantity of the fertilizer. I took some sample to a farmer and then to a fertilizer dealer, and all he did was You test the fertilizer to know whether it is a good fertilizer or not. Now, in as much as we can be able to, some farmers can be able to taste with their tongue, can you be able to taste the amount of the nutrient inside the fertilizer bag? No, of course we can't. So you see, in their own case, they can be able to taste and know the quantity, the quality of the input they are introducing. Whereas in our own case, we can't be able to do that. Even at the growing stage of the plant, they can be able to test the nutrient in the soil, the nutrient in the body of the plant, and what the plant needs at that particular moment. In our own case, we can't be able to do that. So, does that mean that we are going to relax? No. Maybe that's why forums like this, platforms like this exist, so that, farmers, we can have an interactive session and see where best we can help ourselves. Why am I saying this? I don't want a situation whereby we overstress ourselves in trying to achieve what other people are achieving. If we are going to do that, we must take care of these little components of our farming practices. From the seed selection, the knowledge of your soil, the knowledge of the environment, and so on. We can't leave anything and then expect to have everything that they are having. So, in the event, you get a seed, and at the end of the season, you don't get what the seed companies are telling you that you are going to get. Just know that, there are other things that you need to do in order to achieve that. Because a seed company alone cannot tell you the expected yield. A fertilizer company alone cannot tell you the expected yield. A CPP company cannot tell you the expected yield until you put all these inputs together, bring them together. From the seed company, select the best. Of course, there must be the best. From the fertilizer, select the best. When it comes to the CPP, pest management, select the best. Put all this best together. And can I tell you, it is not just enough for you to gather all these things together. You must have good knowledge of how to use them.